This is such bullshit. I've never been so pissed in my whole life. And this murder Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with violence? Gosh damn it. Use your freaking words as they're talking to you people. Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving down a Provo right now. I'm so pissed. Yeah.
Charlie Kirk being killed is a sign of a failing society. It is a sign that our people feel helpless and our government is not here for them. So they lose their fucking shit in a nation where everybody is armed to the fucking teeth. If you want this stuff to stop, you need to advocate for gun control.
So is it the guns yet? Are we ready to be done with this yet? Is Republican Senator Mike Lee gonna make jokes about this, like he did when Melissa Hortman and her family were murdered in their home? Is J.D. Vance gonna call this a fact of life and Donald Trump gonna tell us we just need to move on, like they do when little innocent children have their lives stolen from them while they're in school? Because I would bet my left kidney that is not what's going to happen, and that the Republican response to this will not be clamoring for gun control. So here's what I have to say on the matter. Gun violence is indiscriminate, and you know what else it is? It's preventable. No, like every other civilized country on the face of the planet has done. Because would it shock you to know that in the midst of all this shit with Charlie Kirk in Utah, where, by the way, it's perfectly legal for an 18-year-old to concealed carry a firearm on a public university campus. Can't see any issue with that. Anyway, would it shock you to know that in Colorado there was another shooting that left 3 students in critical condition? Like 2 weeks ago, there were children who had their lives stolen while they were praying. It's the guns.
This is a person who was staunchly in favor of the Second Amendment, even if it meant people getting shot and dying. And I'm left wondering if he ever thought that this would apply to him.
He died? Oh my goodness. What are you guys cooking for dinner tonight?
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. It is rational.
Hey everyone, I just got word that Charlie Kirk is dead. I was at the event and I was 30 to 40 feet away and I heard the gunshot go off. And I was so terrified. Everyone started running.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, Americans are reacting with shock, grief and reflection after the tragic death of Charlie Kirk, conservative activist and founder of Turning Point USA, who was fatally shot during a campus event at Utah Valley University on September 10, 2024. So guys, in this video we are going to see how majority of Americans, they have come out and react towards the death of Charlie Kirk. So kindly guys, watch this till the end, then I'll be back with more comment. All credits go to the original creator of the video. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle.
And while I do think he's caused immense harm with his political involvement, his assassination does genuinely worry me for 3 reasons. Number one, Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump are very close. And to see his 31-year-old sort of sidekick protege assassinated has got to be one of the most insane things to happen. The second reason is that I'm worried this is going to spark a wave of retaliation. As an activist on the left in Chicago, I do worry about myself or some of the people that I've worked with being targeted. And the third thing is that in the midst of all of this political turmoil, many experts have warned about the rising possibility of a conflict. I doubt that they're going to be like, oh shoot, maybe we shouldn't go down the far right pipeline anymore. I think they're going to double down, and this does genuinely scare me. I think that he said a lot of stupid shit, but assassinating him is different from assassinating Brian Thompson, who had a huge role in a lot of people's deaths. And with tensions already so high, this is definitely going to set off a lot of backlash and cause even further division. It concerns me the number of people cheering on this act of political violence, because what if it's somebody on the left next? It very well could.
Apparently his wife and kids were in the crowd when it happened. I'm gonna be honest, after seeing that video, the close-up one, there was no way that anyone was surviving that. That was like the most like horrific thing I've ever seen. I've never seen so much blood come out of a person in my life. I think it's really interesting how Republicans are speaking out against this and saying like political violence is never okay, and they're not making that extra step to, okay, maybe we shouldn't have AR-15s readily available. Maybe we should actually have some kind of gun restriction so that things like this don't happen. Because everyone's tweeting saying, oh, he was a husband, he was a father. Like, every single person that's a victim of gun violence is a human being. Every single Palestinian in Gaza that Charlie Kirk spent the past 700 days dehumanizing is also a human being. Will this be a turning point for MAGA? I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I attended the event with my 17-year-old son, Ryder Overton, this afternoon. We got there about an hour early and had found some what we thought were good seats. It wasn't until shortly after that we moved down to the fence and were allowed to sit just off from the stage where he presented. Everything went as planned. He actually even came out and handed my son, a couple of hats. So it was a wonderful, wonderful gesture, and we were excited. And after about the second question that was asked is about the time we heard the shot. I diverted to look up just for a second to see where the sound had come from, and then seconds later witnessed Charlie with a hole in his neck and bleeding.
How dare you! 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 He's such a monster! What a monster! Such a monster! Monster! A monster! How dare you! Back it up! Back it up! How dare you! How dare you! You're a freaking monster! Yeah!
I don't know. He said he shot him, but I don't know, dude.
I honestly, I wasn't sure if it was a gunshot in the beginning, but I assumed and I thought that it was likely that it was like a mass shooting or something like that. And I just started running. And all the people around me started running their hardest, and there were people dry heaving and throwing up and crying due to everything, because it's fucking scary.
Charlie Kirk is dead, a victim of gun violence, and he was shot while talking about how there's no need for gun reform. His last words were literally gang violence. I mean, it wasn't a graze. I watched the video, wish I hadn't. They very clearly hit an artery with the rate in which the blood was gushing. Please don't watch the video. I hope to God his children weren't there, because no one deserves to see that happen to your parent, ever. It's so crazy how he said he's okay with innocent casualties as long as we get to keep our Second Amendment rights. Never thinking that he would be one of the casualties. And I know there's a video of this bald-headed man being held down by the police. That isn't the shooter. They still haven't caught the shooter. They say it was from some building nearby. Can you believe his last words were gang violence? I'll leave you with a very important Charlie Kirk quote in this moment.
Empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that it does a lot of damage, but...
Yep. Good old Charlie. I'm sure he's already looking up at us.
My condolences to his family, but to be very clear, Charlie Kirk was not a hero nor a martyr. What happened was the effect of what he and this administration caused. Same as the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO. Both events were a desperate plea to the American government by the American citizens. And I also got to point out that there was ample amount of time between both events, meaning the American government and these corporation heads had ample amount of time to stop what took place today. All they had to do was do right by the American citizens. Instead, they decided to delete their LinkedIn profiles, remove their Facebooks, and double down on destabilizing American citizens. I occasionally ponder on what would possess the American government to think that they could continue to manipulate people, lie in their faces, play with their emotions, misappropriate tax dollars, take away our benefits in a country that proudly reminds the world of their Second Amendment right. Why? And ironically, this took place in Utah, not in LA, not in New York City, not in Chicago, not in ATL, not in any of those places that have National Guards deployed there currently. And the trigger wasn't pulled by a black person or a Hispanic Latino person or an Arab Muslim person or an Asian person. Allegedly, it was an elderly white man from Utah. An elderly white man from Utah who probably didn't think that he would be affected by everything that Charlie Kirk and this administration stands for. And if he's a single elderly white man on fixed income, y'all basically stripped him of everything that he has. So he basically had nothing else to live for.
This is crazy. So a video has surfaced that fully shows the shooter that was on the building running after having shot Charlie. So originally this video surfaced where these two guys noticed that there was something strange on the roof. I posted about this earlier where they actually saw him getting into position and crouching. And people weren't 100% sure that this was accurate just yet because there was no movement. This was right after the shooting. Everybody's ducking, but if you look closely, here you can see him actually running after firing. If you look closely at the beginning, you can even see him holding the rifle. Here's a better look at what we're talking about. It looks as though he might be throwing the weapon onto his back as he makes his escape. And here's a completely different angle of that we can see him laying on top of this roof right before he takes his shot. Now this is not a political event, so somebody being on the roof, not that it's common. It's just that Charlie doesn't have a team of Secret Service members looking out for something like this. To me, this is truly shocking footage, but what do you guys think about this?
Charlie Kirk is dead. He got shot at an event that he was hosting in Utah. And I am sad, distraught. In fact, I just cried on my live stream in front of 250,000 people. My goal in this video is to tell you why I feel this way. If you want to end gun violence, it is something that you can never celebrate. It is always disgusting, always vile, and always abhorrent. It should come as no shock to yourself when I tell you that I think Charlie Kirk was a bad person. I've made that very clear over the last year, but does that mean I think he deserves to lose his life? No. Does that mean I think his two young children, who were in attendance at the event where he was shot, deserve to watch their father die? No. Does that mean I think they deserve to grow up without him? No. Does that mean I think that his wife, who was also there, deserved to lose her husband? No. And honestly, if you answered yes to any of those questions, there's a very clear line drawn between me and you. I don't want your support, and I don't support you either. We as a collective need to end gun violence, and if that phrase is negotiable for you, I believe that you're in the wrong. My thoughts and prayers go out to Charlie Kirk's friends, family, children, loved ones, as well as every single person in attendance at his event today in Utah.
Well, there you have it. Charlie Kirk has passed away at the age of 32. I thought he was going to make it. I really did. But now that he is gone, the only people I feel bad about is his two little girls. Everybody else I really don't have any empathy for, but his two baby girls are going to grow up without a father. And that is the only thing I care about. Now, Charlie Kirk is about to be a martyr. And if the person that did take his life is on the left side, all hell is about to break loose. So what I'm going to say, anybody that is an influencer on the left, if you got something, hold that bitch tight. Okay? Watch your surroundings and keep your head on a swivel. Because if you don't, we already know. That side is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And they will not think twice. And Charlie Kirk was an influencer. He was a major influencer for the right. So, that's all I got.
Well, Charlie Kirk is dead, which is a shame because had he lived, he would have had a chance to update his opinion on gun violence. Anyways, here's a quote from Charlie Kirk. Having an armed citizenry comes with a price, and that is part of liberty. Driving comes with a price. 50,000 people die on the road every year. That's a price. You get rid of driving, that's 50,000 less auto fatalities. But we have decided that the method of driving, speed, accessibility, mobility, having products, services, is worth the cost of 50,000 people dying on the road. So we need to be very clear that you're not going to get gun deaths to zero. It will not happen. You can significantly reduce them by having more fathers in the home, by having more armed guards in front of schools. We should have an honest and clear reductionist view of gun violence, but we should not not have a utopian one. You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to have the cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That's a prudent deal. It is rational.
Nah, don't forget now. Charlie went and told y'all. This is an unfortunate sacrifice. Charlie Kirk went and told you that it was an unfortunate sacrifice that would need to be made to protect the Second Amendment. Things like this would have to happen. A citizen getting popped in broad daylight would have to happen. As unfortunate as it is, it was an unfortunate sacrifice that must be made to uphold the Second Amendment. Charlie Kirk fought for that. He worked hard for this. He worked real hard. He advocated for a fascistic regime, preached nonsensical race junk science that has been debunked for over 100 years. He hated the LGBTQIA community. An active TERF who didn't want women to have body autonomy and reproductive rights. He was a known Islamophobe, a white Christian nationalist, a man who he himself went on record on his little TV show and said he hated empathy. He thought it caused a lot of problems. Mr. Kirk worked real hard for this, and he knocked on hate's door all of his professional life. And the funny thing is, if you knock on hate's door long enough, hate will finally answer. And it answered him.
What just happened with Charlie Kirk was an entirely predictable scenario. And it is a sign that things are going to get worse for our country, for our democracy, for our security. They're going to get much worse before they even begin to come anywhere close to getting better. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Chris Goldsmith, former Army Sergeant, and founder of Task Force Butler Institute and Veterans Fighting Fascism. My organizations train veterans in open source intelligence research. We infiltrate and expose extremist organizations. I have personally been studying disinformation, misinformation, foreign troll farms, and I've been studying figures like Charlie Kirk and his Turning Point USA and the effect that he has had on our country over the last 10 years. I am not excusing or condoning what happened to Charlie Kirk on that stage. I'm certainly not celebrating it. But as someone who has studied him and extremist movements for years, I am saying that he made the bed that he's now laying in. This is not about the Second Amendment or his views on whether or not people should be able to own any certain types of weapon. And I'm not blaming the victim here, to be clear. But what I am saying is that Charlie Kirk was a big enough influence in our country to change the heart of our politics by demonizing, by targeting vulnerable communities, by turning political opponents into enemies, and by helping foster a culture where young, angry white men lash out and are expected to lash out. Charlie Kirk played a large role in making political violence in our country more acceptable, more common, more of the norm. And we will all have to deal with that long after he's gone. Now, my objective here is not to make you feel hopeless. In fact, it's the opposite. I want you to understand that there is going to be some political retribution. Donald Trump and his MAGA sycophants are going to lash out. They are going to use the virtually unchecked powers of the executive branch in the United States to lash out against their political enemies. And this is not something that's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month. This is the new norm. Charlie Kirk will be remembered as a martyr for MAGA. And what happened to him on that stage will be used to justify political violence. It will be used to justify state violence against American citizens. All of this is bad. But again, my objective here is not to make you feel hopeless. It is to let you know that you can either sit back and let things happen or be an active force for good. If you have the same privileges that I have, I'm a white, bald guy with a beard and tattoos. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, and I am someone who exercises my Second Amendment. I am someone who can interact with law enforcement safely because of the way that I look and because of the sound of my voice or accent. If you have these privileges, you have a responsibility. That is why I created Veterans Fighting Fascism. Communities all across this nation are vulnerable right now. There are lots of folks who are afraid. Being afraid doesn't make you a coward. It makes you recognize that there is risk. And even those with privilege will always face some risk. But I want to encourage you to get organized at the local level, because protecting your community and more vulnerable communities in your neighborhood, especially those who don't necessarily feel safe around people who wear uniforms for good reason, that is something that you can do through online and real-world activism. We have seen, for example, the city of Chicago, the people of Chicago, the local government of Chicago and Illinois saying no to fascism. They do not want troops from other states coming into their city, to their state. And because the reaction has been so strong, Trump's administration looks like they're going to back down. At least that's what it looks like right now. That came from people hanging signs in their windows. They didn't even have to leave their house. That came from people who did leave the house marching peacefully through the street. It came from journalists covering the impact that ICE is having on their local neighborhoods and communities. And it came from local politicians knowing that they have the backing of their citizens when they say, no, the objective of the authoritarian is to make you feel powerless. And if you know anything about history, you know that authoritarians use political violence to escalate further political violence. You know that fascist movements use martyrs as inspiration to recruit, radicalize, and victimize. There has never been a more critical time for you to get activated into anti-fascist activism. If you want to learn more about what you can do and about the history of fascism and how to fight against authoritarians, I want to encourage you to start your own anti-fascist book club. If you go to veteransfightingfascism.org, there is an instruction manual on how you can gather your local community, and you can start engaging in building a real close-knit, tight community who can respond when the inevitable retaliation and escalation comes. Authoritarians try to rewrite history because history can teach us how to fight them. At veteransfightingfascism.org, we have a list of books that will help you learn about this history, this fight. And our guide teaches you how to facilitate meetings of the Anti-Fascist Book Club. And whether you're doing it online or in person, and I want to encourage the in-person version, you can play a role in protecting your community from what is going to come. It's okay to feel despair. It's okay to feel afraid. That just shows that you have a heart, that you're smart. I want to encourage you to take those emotions, take those feelings, and channel them into something good, something positive to build your community and protect your community. To learn how, go to veteransfightingfascism.org and download our free guide for creating an anti-fascist book club.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen the reaction of Americans. They have come out and react towards the death of Charlie Kirk. We know Charlie Kirk, he was doing a university campus tour. He was doing a campus tour and he was shot in Utah Valley University, whereby he was doing his campus tour. And also guys, before going so far, I want to also to send my condolences to the family. I'm very sorry for what happened and God has a reason for that. So I'm sending my condolences and I'm so sorry to the family of Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry, sending my condolences. So guys, I want to read some of the comment here that also majority of people, they have come out and share in the comment section. And also guys, you can share your thoughts on the comment section. Tell me, what do you think about Americans reacting towards the death of Charlie Kirk? So kindly, what we know that Charlie Kirk, he was a huge supporter of Donald Trump, and unfortunately he was shot during when he was doing his university, he was doing campus tour. So this one is saying that all these GOP MAGA adults who are emotionally suffering never consider children going through the same emotions when their classmates' brain are blown out all over them. So this one is saying that he said the civil rights movement was wrong and MLK was a bad guy, racist to the one. So this one saying that Charlie said he hated empathy, just respecting his wishes. So this one saying that imagine how kids in the Gaza feel. Yeah, so this one saying that no, the first guy killed me. Who has time to record themselves while crying? So this one saying that no, this much outrage when school kids are murdered. Yeah, so this one saying that, and they all made fun of the two Democrats shot and killed in Minnesota. So this one saying that today a post died. Today 4 high school students were injured by a gunman. So today Trump lowered the flag at the White House to half staff. Guess which event compelled him to lower the flag, not the student. So you can see, so this one saying that lowering the flag to half staff for a partisan propagandist. So this one saying that let me read it, another one here for you. Majority of black people that have come out on the comment section. So this one saying that that old man that was arrested need to sue everyone. So we know after Charlie Kirk he was shooted, there is an old man that he was suspected, and the police ended up arresting the old man because he was so close to the where Charlie Kirk he was, and the police thought that he was the one who killed who shot Charlie Kirk, but it was coming out that he was not the one, and this guy is telling that this old man, he need to sue everyone, yeah, because of for ending up arresting somebody who didn't commit that crime. These police need to do more investigation before arresting someone. So this one is saying that bloody hell, Trump will do anything to distract people from the Epstein file. So this one is saying that what happened today, it is because Trump, he wants people to forget about Epstein file. So this one saying that I give him the empathy he gave to others. So this one saying that crazy they get this upset over the death of a Nazi, but a radio silence over the death of the shooting victims in the Colorado high school. So this one is saying that black, brown, indigenous, and Palestinian people have families. Yet when some conservative CEO get marked, it's a dark time in America. Man, get out of my face. So this one is saying that shouldn't you at least wait until you find the shooter before the president and Fox News assign blame and swear vengeance against half the nation? Yeah, so this one is saying here that we shouldn't give him empathy because he didn't believe in it. He is now a victim of his own statistic. Yeah, so this one saying that Charlie, he didn't believe in empathy, and right now there's no need of giving Charlie Kirk empathy. So this one saying that Charlie Kirk wasn't assassinated, he was murdered, he wasn't a hero. Yeah, so this one saying that the hate he created ended him. God bless America. So this one saying that I don't think in the Bible I ever had or read that Jesus said go to the gun store, buy gun and protect yourself. So it's not a good given right now. So we all know majority of people, they are having firearms in America, and because of that, that's why we have ended up seeing a lot of gun violence in America, and people, they are not safe in America because you might ended up being shot and killed with somebody who has a gun. So America needs to change. So this one saying that I wonder the first fool screaming and crying over Charlie has the same reaction every time kid in school and churches are massacred and torn apart by high power machine gun. Yeah, so this is saying that thought and prayer wash reason etc. As for Kirk, he thrives on making biotric palatable, inciting youth. It's okay to hate immigrant. The guy, the non-white neighbor, not a good guy. Goebbels would have loved him. So this one saying that America are reacting because they can see the courage, they can see the carnage of his neck guts coming out. Imagine 6-year-old bodies with multiple gunshots with their guts out, their head blown off, and their image off, and then imagine their parent identifying them. Charlie was a fervent gun rights guy. He even said a few people being killed was the price paid for gun rights. So how do you want us to act? We are numbed to this violence. Yeah, so this one is saying that I don't condone violence, murder, but I find it difficult to produce any sympathy for someone who wouldn't say that gun violence and people dying is necessary to promote his personal belief, ideology in the Second Amendment. I despise people who support the suffering of others unless it affects them personally. God has an ironic way of giving people what they ask for. Dig a second grave for yourself as you dig one for someone else. Condolences to his family. Yeah, so guys, you can see that it is really a powerful message. So this one, they are saying that Charlie didn't I didn't care what it was affecting others, but not the white folks. So right now, he has already get what he deserved. Those are the comments of how people that are coming out and say. So this one said that Trump killed Kirk. So this one is saying that Trump killed Kirk. This one saying that he died in the world of hate and violence he created. So what goes around comes around. So this one is saying that what about the Epstein file? So imagine people that are still asking for Epstein file. So this one can say that the guy who killed Charlie was just exercising his God-given right. Yeah, this one saying that this is an inside job to make people forget about the Epstein file. So majority of people, they think that it is Trump who did it so that people can stop asking for Epstein file. So this is saying that I'm sorry that I am not sorry. He wasn't a nice man. I reserve my sympathy for the school children in CO. Yeah, so those are some of the comments that majority of people that have come out and share. And also, guys, you can share your thoughts on the comment section. See you on my next one, guys. Bye bye.